Welcome to mathematics class, matrices part 15. Today we are going to learn one of the very important matrix methods, solving system of equations by using matrix method. So far we have learned two methods, Cramer's and matrix inversion. This is third method. So in intermediate we have three methods. So the third method, gauss-Jordan method, which is also very, very important. You should be perfect in all these three methods. So in exam, you will get one of the methods, one of the three methods. So you should be able to solve the given system of simultaneous equations in all the three methods. So they may ask Cramer's matrix inversion or Gauss-Jordan method. So you have to solve in that particular method in which they ask to solve in the exam. So now coming to this third method, Gauss-Jordan. Now let us consider the given system of equations a1x plus b1y plus c1z is equal to d1, a2x plus b2y plus c2z is equal to d2, a3x plus b3y plus c3z is equal to d3. These are the given equations. First, we have to convert the equations into augmented matrix. What is augmented matrix? A1, B1, C1, D1, where A1, B1, C1 are the coefficients of x, y, z in first equation and D1 is the constant. And A2, B2, C2, D2 from second equation, A3, B3, C3, D3 from third equation. So this is the augmented matrix, very easy to write the coefficients and constants in the given three equations, and you will get a 3 by 4 augmented matrix, 3 rows, 4 columns. So this 3 by 3 is the coefficient matrix and D1, D2, D3 constant. So mixing these two A and D matrix, you get a augmented matrix, that is AD. So after writing, so the care should be taken writing the numbers A1, B1, C1, D1. If you write wrong value, so your entire effort will be in vain, go waste. So be cautious while taking the plus minus sign also and the values of these coefficients and constants. So after writing this augmented matrix, so we have to convert this augmented matrix in its final form, that is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1 and alpha, beta, gamma as the C4 fourth column. By using elementary transformations, row transformations. Remember, only row transformation. You should use only row transformations to transform the augmented matrix in its final form. So what is the final form? That should be 1, 0, 0 alpha. And second row should be 0, 1, 0 beta. Third row 0, 0, 1 gamma. After getting this final form, the solution will be x value alpha, y value beta, z value gamma. So this is in brief about the Gauss-Jordan method. The conversion part is very important. How writing augmented matrix is very simple, and transforming the augmented matrix sarvamatrikantam into its final form by using elementary row transformations. So that part is very crucial, very important in this method. So uh, I will give you some tips how to convert augmented matrix in its final form. There are 3 steps. Step 1, R1, no change in R1, matrix. First row, no change. So we change the second row, third row in first step. That is, in first column, second, third elements should become zeros. This is first step. In second step, second column in C2, first element, third element should become 0. In step 3, first in C3, third column, first element, second element should become 0. So all 6 zeros, we have to make the 6 elements as zeros. So that part is very important. In first step, we make 2 zeros in first column. In second step, we make 2 zeros in second column. In third step, we make 2 zeros in third column. So in first column, second element, third element. In second column, first element, last element. In third column, first element, second element. So we have to make these 6 elements as 0 by using elementary row transformations. For this also, if you follow these steps, so in first step, we have to make these 2 elements of C1, R2 C1, R3 C1 as zeros with the help of R1. So in this step, R1 is constant, no change in R1. So you choose the transformation, row transformation as convert R2 second row elements by taking suitable row transformation R2 plus or minus some constant into R1. And also to make R3 third row, you choose a suitable transformation R3 plus or minus some scalar, some number into R1, so that these 2 elements should become 0, such that you have to take a formula, you have to make a formula such that the 2 elements of first column become zeros. So in step 2, again we have to make 2 elements, that is first element and last element. In second column, R1 element and R3 element should become zeros. So in this step, we keep second row constant, no change in second row. And with the help of second row, we make suitable transformations, row transformations or formula such that these 2 elements should become 0. R1 plus or minus some number into R2, R3 plus or minus some number into R2. Here, for both R1 and R2, we are changing with the help of R2, second row. In third step also, we have to make 2 zeros, that is R1 first element, R2 first element in third column. In this third column, third row is constant, there is no change in third row. And we make use of this third row to converting the 2 elements into zeros. So we prepare a suitable formula, row transformation. So we have to convert R1 we have to change R1 and R2 with the help of R3. So R1 plus or minus some number into R3, R2 plus or minus some number into R3, such that R1 C3 element becomes 0 and R2 C3 element becomes 0. So by using these transformations, we convert these 6 elements into zeros, and then we convert the diagonal elements into 1. Then we get this final form. Then we can write the solution. So this is the very simple way. If you follow this method becomes very easy for you. So by practicing more number of problems, it will become easy for you to solve the system of equations in this Gauss-Jordan method. I hope definitely you will become perfect in solving this system of equations in Gauss-Jordan method. Most of the students will find it very complex, find it difficult in solving Gauss-Jordan method when compared to other two methods. But if you follow my steps, it will be very, very easy for you to solve the system of equations in this Gauss-Jordan method. Now let us practice some problems. From the exercise 3H, the third question. Solve the following system of equations by using Gauss-Jordan method. So these are the equations. The first step you have to convert. First step you have to convert them into augmented matrix. So you take augmented matrix. సర్వమాత్రిక అంటాం తెలుగులో. సర్వమాత్రికను రాసుకోవాలి. Very simple. So let us name it as AD. A is coefficient matrix, D is constant matrix in Cramer's and matrix inversion method. If you mix both, you will get this augmented matrix. So coefficients of x, y, z and constant in first equation. 1 minus 1 3 5. 1 minus 1 3 5. Coefficient of x, y, z and constant in second equation. 4 2 minus 1 0. 4 2 minus 1 0. And coefficients of x, y, z in third equation and constant. Minus 1 3 1. 5. So this is the augmented matrix. సర్వమాత్రిక అంటాం. ఇది వెరీ 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 సింపుల్. నెంబర్స్ వాల్యూస్ రాసేటప్పుడు జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాలి. సో ఆఫ్టర్ రైటింగ్ నౌ actual crucial part, the conversion of this matrix into its final form, the transformation by using elementary row transformations. So as I explained just now, the method, you can take it as a tip. So if you follow these steps, in first step, step 1, you have to convert these two elements into zeros. So here the R1, no change, R2 we are changing and R3 also changing. So now write R1 as it is. I am writing R1. First row, no change. First row as it is. Then we have to change second row elements. our purpose is to convert 4 into 0. So for that we have to prepare a formula. So with the help of R1. Now R2, we are changing R2 elements and by using R1. And also R3 elements by using R1. So for these two rows, use R1 only. For R3 also R1. For R2 elements also R1. Now, what is R2 second row? 4. We want to make 4 as 0. And take the help of R1 element. R1, 1 is there. So 4, 1. Take the two elements. So R2 element and R1 element. First make them equal. So by multiplying 1 with 4, both elements become equal, 4 and 4. So 4 into 1, that is we are multiplying R1 into 4. And if you subtract, they become 0. So this is the formula R2 minus 4R1. By applying this transformation, the 4 becomes 0. So this is the suitable formula. So we are changing R2 elements as R2 minus 4R1. R2 minus 4R1. By applying this formula, in place of R2 4, in place of R1 1, the 4 becomes 0. We are changing second row elements. By applying this formula, the second row elements will change. First element becoming 0. So we have to prepare a formula such that this first element should become 0. And apply the same formula for second elements. Apply the same formula for all the other elements of the second row. Now what happens? Apply the formula for second elements. So in second row, second element, 2R2, in place of R2 take 2 minus 4 into R1, in place of R1 minus 1 is there, minus 1, minus into minus plus 4 into 1, 4 plus 2, 6. So 2 becomes 6. Similarly, apply the same formula for third elements. So here R2 value is minus 1, minus 4 into R1 value is 3. So 4 into 3, 12, minus 12 minus 1. So this becomes minus 13. Apply the same formula for fourth element. So in place of R2, 0. This is the formula. In place of R2 and R1, you substitute the values 0, 5. So R2 0, 4 into R1 5. 4 5 are 20. So this becomes minus 20. 0 minus 20 is minus 20. By applying this formula R2 minus 4R1, we are changing R2 elements by applying this formula. So all the 4 elements will change. Our intention is to make first element 0. So first we are making zeros. So one by one we make them as 0. So 1 0 we converted one element into 0. Similarly, the third row first element also should become 0. So you have to prepare a formula such that this first element of third row will become 0. Now you take two numbers R3 and R1. So what is R3? In R3, minus 1 is there. In R1, that is first row, top, 1 is there. 1, 1, they are equal. So minus 1 plus 1, if you add, they become 0. So simply R3 plus R1 is the formula. So we are changing third row elements as R3 elements plus R1 elements. Adding these two rows and write the value in that place. So we are adding R3 number plus R1 number, third row number plus first row number. So here you take third row number minus 1 plus first row number plus 1. So third row, so here this third row, first element becomes 0. First element become 0. Apply the same formula. R3 plus R1. You can calculate orally, direct. Third plus first number. 3 plus minus 1. So 3 plus minus 1, you can add directly. 3 plus minus 1. 3 minus 1, 2. You can add first and last. So 3 minus 1, 2. 1 minus 3. 1 plus 3. Adding 1 plus 3, 4. And 5 plus 5, 10. So this is making zeros. First step, 2 zeros completed. First, in first column, second number, third number, zeros. So this is first step. In second step, step 2, in second, we have to convert second column first element and third column first element as 0. So here the R2, no change in R2. R2, no change. So this is constant. In first R1, no change. In second step, second row, no change. We have to change first row, second element, 0. So all the first row elements will change and all the third row elements also change in step 2 so that the first and last element should become 0. ఇవి రెండు 0 అయ్యేటట్టు మనం ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ చేయాలి, కన్వర్షన్స్ చేయాలి, రో ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్స్ యూజ్ చేసి. ద ఫస్ట్ R1లో R1 ఎలిమెంట్ను 0గా మార్చాలి విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ R2 సెకండ్ రో ఉన్న ఎలిమెంట్ని తీసుకోవాలి. అదేవిధంగా R3లో ఉన్న ఎలిమెంట్ని 0గా మార్చాలి 2ను with the help of R2. The first, now let us look at this one. ఒకటే ఫస్ట్ R1 తీసుకున్నాం. R1లో ఏముంది, మనం దేన్ని 0గా మార్చాలి, -1. R2లో ఏముంది, R2 అంటే సెకండ్ రో 6 ఉంది. సో ముందు ఇవి రెండు ఈక్వల్ చేయాలంటే దీన్ని 6 తోని మల్టిప్లై చేయాలి. సో 6 into R1 minus 6 is plus 6. So by adding them, it becomes 0. So what is the formula? Minus 6R1 plus R2. So 6R1 plus R2 is the formula for first row. So ఇక్కడ సెకండ్ ఎలిమెంట్ 0 అవుతుంది. సెకండ్ ఎలిమెంట్ -1 అనేది 0 అయింది. అప్లై ద సేమ్ ఫార్ములా ఫర్ ఫస్ట్ ఎలిమెంట్. సో ఫస్ట్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఇక్కడ ఫస్ట్ ఎలిమెంట్ సెకండ్ ఎలిమెంట్ R1 R2 R1 R2 R1 R2 యూజ్ చేస్తాం. సో ఇక్కడ ఇదే ఫార్ములా 6 into R1 అంటే 1 ప్లస్ R2 అంటే 0. సో 6 into 1 plus 0 6 అవుతుంది. 1 ప్లేస్లో 6 అవుతుంది. అప్లై ద సేమ్ ఫార్ములా ఫర్ థర్డ్ 3 minus 13. సో R1 దగ్గర 3 6 into R1 అంటే 6 into 3 ప్లస్ R2 అంటే -13. 6 3 times 18 minus 13 5. 18 minus 13 5. 3 అనేది 5గా మారింది. నెక్స్ట్ 5 minus 20 తీసుకుంటే 6 into R1 అంటే 5. 6 into 5 ప్లస్ R2 అంటే -20. 6 by 30 minus 20. 30 minus 20 10. సో 5 అనేది 10గా మారింది. నెక్స్ట్ R2, no change in R2. So write as it is, second row 0 6 minus 13 minus 20. Now we have to change 2 as 0. సో థర్డ్ రోలో 2ను 0గా మార్చాలి. కాబట్టి థర్డ్ రోను మార్చడానికి ఫార్ములా తయారు చేసుకోవాలి. వాట్ ఈస్ R3 అంటే థర్డ్ రో. సో 2 is there. సో ఇన్ R2 సెకండ్ రోలో 6 ఉంది. రెండు ఈక్వల్ చేయాలంటే 2ను 3తో మల్టిప్లై చేయాలి. మల్టిప్లై 2 with 3 so that they become equal. And if you subtract, so 2 into R3 minus R2, they become 0. So this is the formula. What is the row transformation? We are changing R3 as 2 R3 minus R2. 2 R3 minus R2. 2 R3 minus R2. So by applying this formula, the second number becomes 0. So 6 kinda unde number 0 అవుతుంది. So applying the same formula. So for this also 0 0, if you take R3 0 R2 0 and 4 minus 13 and 10 minus 20. So applying the same formula, first element also 0 2 0 minus 0. Second already 0 అయింది. థర్డ్ 4 minus 13 తీసుకుంటే సో 2 into 3 into R3. So this is 3 R3. Okay. 3R3 minus R2. So now 3 into what is R3? R3 4 minus R2 minus 13. 3 4 times 12. 12 plus 13 minus into minus plus 13 plus 12 25. Next 10 minus 20. So 3R3. 3 into R3. R3 value is 10 minus R2 value minus 20. So 3 into 10 30 minus minus plus 20. 20 plus 30, that is 50. So by applying these two transformations, again, we in second column, 2 zeros are there. Still we have to get third column 2 zeros. Then zeros will be completed. ఇంకా రెండు zeros మనం third column లో కూడా రెండు zeros గా మార్చాలి. So before that, if you want to simplify any row, so if all the elements of any row can be divided by any number, it becomes simple. So you can divide the third row. So R1, R2, or the third row can be divided by 25. Okay. So now I am dividing third row by 25 so that it becomes simplified. So I am writing first row as it is 5, 10, and second row 0, 6, minus 13, minus 20, and dividing with 25, third row becomes 0, 0, 1, 2. So by dividing with by dividing R3 with 25, we get this one. Now we have to, in step 3, we have to convert these two elements of third column. So now it is step 3. We have to convert. In step 3, we have to convert these two elements into 0. So what is this one? This is 5 is in first row. This is second row. This is third row. So we have to change R1. So here the third row is constant. So make use of third row for converting into zeros. And for second row, minus 13 also should become 0. For this also make use of R3. In step 3, R1 plus or minus R3, R2 plus or minus R3. ఈ రెండింటికి R3 యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఇక్కడ R3 అనేది కాన్స్టెంట్. R3లో మార్పు లేదు. మనం R1, R2ని చేంజ్ చేయాలి. సో దట్ ఇక్కడ 5 ప్లేస్లో 0 రావాలి, minus 13 ప్లేస్లో 0 రావాలి. So in the place of 5, it should become 0. You should get in minus 13 place also you get 0. Now let us make 5 into 0 by applying suitable formula. So now R1 value is 5. R1 value 5 should become 0. With the help of R3 value 1, last row. 5, 1, they are not equal. Multiplying with 5, they become equal, and subtracting. So this is the suitable formula, that is, we are changing R1 as R1 minus 5 R3. R1 minus 5 R3. This third element becomes 0. The third element become 0. సో ఇక్కడ 5 ప్లేస్లో 0 వస్తుంది. So apply the same formula for all other elements. First element, last element, R1, R3. So for 6, 0 తీసుకొని ఇందులో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే R1 దగ్గర 6, R3 దగ్గర 0 అంటే 6 minus 5 into 0, 6 minus 0, 6 అవుతుంది. So applying this formula for first element, so this becomes 6 only. And 0, 0, R1 0, R3 0 అంటే 0, 0 సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే సెకండ్ ఎలిమెంట్ 0 అవుతుంది. 5, 1 అయితే 0 అయింది. 10, 2, R1 దగ్గర 10 minus 5 into 2, 10 minus 10, so this becomes last element also 0. Now we have to make minus 13 also 0 by making use of R3. Here minus 13 is there, R3, R2 and R3 1. So make them equal, multiply with 13. So by adding minus 13 plus 13, they become 0. So this is the formula R2 plus R2 plus 13 R3. So this is the formula, or we are changing R2 elements. So the second row, third element should become 0, so that the suitable formula R2 second row element plus 13 into R3, 13 into R3 elements. So by applying this formula, the 13, number 13 becomes 0. So third element, so this is our purpose. We have to convert this third column, these first two elements, into zeros. So apply the same formula R2 plus 13 R3 for all other elements. So here R2 0 and R3 0, 0 0, 0 0, 0 only, and 6 0, R2 6, R2 6. So 13 into R3 0. So 13 0 0, 6 plus 0, 6 only. This becomes 6. And last one, 20 minus 20 plus 13 into 2. 13 2 ja 26 minus 20, that is 6. Third row, no change. So write as it is 0 0 1 2. No change in third row. So we have converted all 6 zeros. First column 2 zeros, second column 2 zeros, third column 2 zeros. All the zeros are completed. Now convert the diagonal elements into 1. So the 6 should become 1. So divide R1 by 6. And second row 6 should become 1. So divide the second row by 6. We get, by dividing 6 by 6, 1, 0 by 6, 0, 0 by 6, 0, 0 by 6, 0, 0 by anything 0. And in second row also 0 by 6, 0, 6 by 6, 1, 6 by 6, 1. Third row already 1 is there. You need not change the third row. Right as it is, 0, 0, 1, 2. Now this is the required form, final form. ఇది మనకు కావాల్సిన రూపంలోకి మారింది. That is 1, 0, 0 alpha, 0, 1, 0 beta, 0, 0, 1 gamma. So this is the final form of augmented matrix. So in this value is x and this value is y and this value is z. So now the solution for this, solution, sadhana, solution is, so x value 0, y value 1, z value 2. So this is the solution for the given equations. You can check it by substituting 0, 1, 2 in any one of the given equations. It will satisfy all the equations. So you can check whether your answer is right or wrong by substituting these values into any one of the given equations. So you can confirm your answer in the exam also in doing rough work, so that you will not miss the complete marks. If your answer is right, procedure is right, you will get complete full marks for the question. So for this, you can check your answer whether it is right or wrong. So that advantage is there. If anything goes wrong, you can check back so that you will not lose the full marks. So this is the procedure in gauss-jordan method. So as you practice more number of problems, you become perfect. So in next class, we will continue to solve some more problems. So thank you for watching this video.